Why do recent floods in Europe have experts on edge? The answer lies in the unprecedented scale and frequency of these events, which have left scientists and climate experts deeply concerned. These floods are not just random occurrences, they are symptomatic of a larger, more troubling trend. Let's unravel this climate catastrophe. The recent floods in Europe are a stark reminder of the power and unpredictability of nature, exacerbated by human-induced climate change. These events have brought to light the urgent need for comprehensive climate action. In recent months, unprecedented floods have ravaged parts of Europe. Cities that have never experienced such severe flooding are now grappling with the aftermath. The scale of destruction is unlike anything seen before in these regions. From Germany to Greece, torrents of water have swept through cities, leaving destruction in their wake. The images of submerged streets and homes are a grim testament to the power of these floods. Entire communities have been displaced, and the recovery process will be long and arduous. But what's driving this chaos? The answer is clear: climate change. The scientific consensus is overwhelming. Human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels, are driving global temperatures up, leading to more extreme weather events. Climate change. Experts point to rising global temperatures causing more intense and frequent rainfall. This is not just a theory, it's a reality that we are witnessing with increasing regularity. Warmer air holds more moisture, leading to heavier downpours. This simple fact has profound implications for our weather patterns. As the atmosphere warms, it can hold more water vapor, which in turn leads to more intense and prolonged rainfall events. Warmer air holds more moisture, leading to heavier downpours. This means that when it rains, it pours, literally. The intensity of these downpours can overwhelm drainage systems and lead to rapid flooding. And when it rains, it pours, literally. In Germany, entire towns have been submerged. The speed and ferocity of the flooding caught many by surprise, leaving little time for evacuation and emergency response. In Germany, entire towns have been submerged. The devastation is widespread, with homes, businesses, and infrastructure all affected. The human cost is immeasurable, with lives lost and families torn apart. In Greece, flash floods have turned streets into rivers. The sudden and violent nature of these floods has made them particularly dangerous. People have been caught off guard, and the damage to property and livelihoods is extensive. Lives have been lost, homes destroyed, and communities shattered. The emotional and psychological toll on those affected is profound. Rebuilding will take time, resources, and a collective effort from both local and international communities. The economic toll is in the billions. The cost of repairing and rebuilding infrastructure, homes, and businesses is staggering. Insurance claims are skyrocketing, and the financial burden on governments and individuals is immense. But this isn't just about numbers and damage, it's about the human stories behind the statistics. Families who have lost everything, communities that must start from scratch, and the long-term impact on mental health and well-being. It's about the stark reality that the climate crisis is here and now. We can no longer afford to ignore the signs. The floods in Europe are a wake-up call, a clear indication that we must act now to mitigate the effects of climate change. We are witnessing its devastating impacts firsthand. The evidence is all around us, from the flooded streets of Germany to the waterlogged towns of Greece. The time for debate is over, the time for action is now. Scientists warn that if we don't take urgent action to curb carbon emissions, these events will only become more frequent and severe. The window for meaningful action is closing, and the consequences of inaction are dire. The future of our planet hangs in the balance. The choices we make today will determine the world we leave for future generations. It's a responsibility we cannot take lightly. It's time to act. We must come together as a global community to address this crisis. Governments, businesses, and individuals all have a role to play in reducing carbon emissions and promoting sustainable practices. Remember, every small effort counts. From reducing our carbon footprint to advocating for policy changes, every action makes a difference. We must all do our part to protect our planet. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and raise your voice for change. Simple actions can have a big impact. By making sustainable choices and encouraging others to do the same, we can create a ripple effect that leads to significant change. Our planet needs us now more than ever. The floods in Europe are a stark reminder of the urgency of the climate crisis. We must act now to protect our world for future generations. Together, we can make a difference.